Hello students. Now in the last lecture we completed the factors that affecting the position of equilibrium. Number 1, concentration, effect of change of concentration. Number 2, effect of change of pressure. Okay, now we are going to start the third effect, that is the effect of change of volume or effect of volume. Now here pressure and volume, both the effects are inversely proportional to each other, because here temperature is constant, so pressure volume both are inversely proportional to each other. So in the pressure effect, what we discuss, increasing of pressure, the equilibrium system move in that direction where there is a decrease in the number of gaseous moles, okay, and vice versa. And similarly, in case of increasing of volume, the reaction mixture at equilibrium, then the position of equilibrium will be shifted to more number of gas particles. Here, how to increase the volume? First of all, there are two conditions to increase the volume. Let's suppose we have some ideal gas equation, PV is equal to what? nRT. Here, let's suppose temperature is constant. R value is itself gas constant. So the volume, pressure and number of moles. Let's suppose case 1, pressure is constant. When pressure is constant, volume directly proportional to number of moles. By increasing the number of moles, we can increase the volume of the reaction mixture. First case. Number 2, in the second case, if the number of moles keeping constant along with the temperature, in both the cases temperature must be constant. When we decrease the pressure, because temperature constant, R value, N value, everything constant, so PV is equal to constant, that means pressure decreases, then volume has to, what happens? Increase. That means in the case 1, what you are doing? Increase in the volume. In the case 1, what we are doing? Increase in the volume. Increase in the volume, indirectly we are decreasing the pressure. We are dealing with this case. We will also consider this case. This is the last case. We will discuss how to increase the volume by addition of number of moles. Addition of number of moles, where keeping the pressure and temperature constant. Keeping the temperature, pressure constant. Now here, how to increase the pressure? How to increase the volume? By decreasing of the pressure. Indirectly, the case 1, increase in the volume, nothing but the decrease in the pressure. So decrease in the pressure, the system move where there is an increase in the number of gas particles, because आपने वॉल्यूम को बढ़ा रहे, वॉल्यूम को बढ़ाए तो प्रेशर अपने आप का क्या होना चाहिए? कम होना. प्रेशर कम हो गया तो सिस्टम दोबारा अपना प्रेशर को वापस इंक्रीज करना चाहिए. जब प्रेशर इंक्रीज करना तो नंबर ऑफ गैस पार्टिकल्स बढ़ना चाहिए, क्योंकि ड्यूरिंग द कोलिजन्स बिटवीन द मॉलिक्यूल्स एंड आल्सो on the walls of the container, during the collisions on the walls of the container, only pressure exerted by the gas, that means more number of gas particles, then more will be the pressure. That means the system will try to move in that direction where the number of gas particles are more. Are you getting my point? Now second case, decrease in the volume of the reaction mixture. That means we are decreasing the volume, that means we have to increase the pressure. Once the increase in the pressure, the system tend to move in that direction where there is a decrease in the number of gas particles. Because आप अपने प्रेशर को बढ़ाया, सिस्टम ने प्रेशर को कम करने के लिए उस डायरेक्शन पे जाएगा जिस डायरेक्शन पे गैस का पार्टिकल्स कम है, क्योंकि जब गैस का पार्टिकल्स कम है तो उनका कोलिजन्स ऑन द वॉल्स ऑफ द वेसल भी कम रहता, तो प्रेशर भी कम होगा, तो सिस्टम विल शिफ्टेड इन दैट डायरेक्शन वेयर देयर इज अ लेस नंबर ऑफ गैस particles. So effect of volume, nothing but indirectly effect of the pressure, but both are inversely proportional to each other. Are you getting my point? Now let's see one example. Here PCl5 dissociated into PCl3 and Cl2. Okay, let's suppose the reaction is attaining equilibrium. So small a moles of PCl5, small b small c moles of PCl3 Cl2 present at the equilibrium. Are you getting my point? Now this is a Kp expression. Actually, what is the Kp expression? Kp expression is equal to number of moles of C to the power small c, number of moles of D to the power small d, whole divided by number of moles of A to the power small a, number of moles of B to the power small b, into P total whole divided by N total to the power what? Delta N G. This is the general formula. Okay. Now here number of moles of product B into C and their stoichiometry 1. So B to the power 1, C to the power 1 divided by number of moles of reactant PCl5A, stoichiometry 1. Total pressure, let's suppose P. Total number of moles is A plus B plus C whole to the power 1. But I want to convert the pressure in terms of what? Volume. We know from ideal gas equation PV is equal to nRT. P into V is equal to how many number of moles in the container? A plus B plus C into RT. So shall I write P by A plus B plus C, that is P by total number of moles is equal to RT by V. So instead of P by total moles, shall I write RT by V. Now this is the Kp expression. This expression is corresponding to Kp expression. Okay. Now suppose what we are doing. Let's suppose if the volume of the reaction mixture, what happens? Increases. Definitely the equilibrium position will be disturbed. Okay. Now then we have to write the Qp instead of Kp. Now what we are doing? We are increasing the volume. In the denominator volume is there. Now we are adding small v. So the total volume in the denominator what happens? Increases. Now in the denominator v plus small v plus capital V. So denominator increases. So Kp value decreases. Qp value decreases compared to whom? Kp. So Qp less than what? Kp. That means Kp value higher. We know when the Kp value higher or Kc value higher, the reaction tend to move in forward direction. If you increase the volume of the reaction mixture, the system tend to move where there is a more number of gas particles. This is the first case. Where the gas particles are more on the right side, that's why system moving into forward direction. Let's suppose if you are decreasing the volume of the system at equilibrium, then what happens? Here in the denominator, instead of capital V, I am writing capital V minus small v because we are decreasing the volume. So denominator value what happens? Decreases. That means Qp value increases compared to Kp. So Qp greater than Kp. That means Kp will be less than the Qp. That means equilibrium tend to move in backward direction. Otherwise, if you decrease the volume of the system, then the reaction moves to that direction where there is a less number of gas particles. Less number of gas particles on the left hand side, because 1 mole of PCl5 will give 1 plus 1, 2 moles of products. 1 mole reactant to give 2 moles of the product. Are you getting my point? So this is the effect of effect of volume on the position of the equilibrium. Are you getting my point? Pressure effect, volume effect, both are inversely proportional to each other. Okay. Now there is one more important effect, that is called effect of temperature on the position of a equilibrium. This is very, very important. So in the previous, I think in past videos, if you see, there is a dependence of equilibrium constant on the temperature, where we detailedly discussed the effect of temperature on the position of equilibrium. Okay. Now increasing of temperature, equilibrium system favors endothermic reaction. Decreasing of temperature, equilibrium system favors exothermic reaction. Why? Because when we increasing the temperature, the system try to decrease the temperature. So to which side the temperature will be decreases, that means the temperature has to be absorbed in the form of heat energy. That means the reaction moves in that direction where the heat energy absorbs. Basically, energy absorbing reactions are endothermic reaction. That means if you increase the temperature, endothermic reaction is favorable. Are you getting my point? Now let's suppose you are decreasing the temperature. if you decreasing the temperature, the system has to lose the temperature in the form of heat energy. Because you are decreasing, the system has to compensate the decrease in the temperature by releasing the heat energy. That means the system move in that direction where there is a heat energy releases. In which reaction heat energy releases? Obviously exothermic reaction. That means if you decrease the temperature, the reaction favorable towards exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction. If you increase the temperature, system tend to move in endothermic. If you decrease the temperature, system try to move in exothermic direction. Are you getting my point? Now, as the temperature increases, equilibrium constant for endothermic reaction increases, directly proportional, we know, in the effect of temperature on the position of equilibrium. As the temperature increases, the equilibrium constant for exothermic reaction, what happens? Decreases. That means in endothermic reaction, K equilibrium directly proportional to temperature, whereas in exothermic reaction, K equilibrium inversely proportional to temperature. So the third point and fourth point are very important points. Okay, let's suppose we have one example. N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. Now here what happens? 92 kilojoules of heat energy releases. How we know heat energy releases? Because on the right side plus 92 kilojoules is given. Sometime we can also write this in terms of delta H. Delta H is equal to minus 92. अगर क्वेश्चन में प्लस 92 दिया, अदरवाइज डेल्टा एच का टर्म्स में माइनस 92 दिया, दोनों सही है. डेल्टा एच वैल्यू माइनस 92, दिस इज करस्पॉन्डिंग टू एक्सोथर्मिक रिएक्शन अकॉर्डिंग टू थर्मोडायनेमिक नोटेशन. दिस रिएक्शन इज विच रिएक्शन? Exothermic reaction in which heat energy releases. Now the above reaction is what? Exothermic reaction. In exothermic reaction, if you raise the temperature, then what happens? Backward reaction favors, because in forward reaction heat energy releases. So you are increasing the temperature. The increased temperature must be compensated by the system. That means heat energy has to absorbed by the system in the backward direction. In this backward direction, heat energy absorbing. That's why if you increase the temperature, the backward reaction favors. Let's suppose if you decrease the temperature, the system has to compensate that by releasing of heat energy. By releasing of heat energy, that means in the forward direction heat energy releases. That means favorable in forward direction. Are you getting my point? So this is very important. This is exothermic reaction example. Let's suppose in endothermic one example. N2 plus O2 gives 2NO. N2 plus O2 gives 2NO plus 180. I think this is not plus 180. This is minus 180. This is how much? Minus 180. Otherwise we can say delta H is equal to plus 180.8 kilojoule. Otherwise this minus 180 comes to left hand side, you will get plus 180.8. in the sense what happens? Reactants, they are absorbing the heat energy. That means this reaction is what? Endothermic reaction. Otherwise with the help of the delta H sign, if the delta H is positive, immediately we can conclude this reaction is endothermic reaction. This is very important. By seeing the delta H sign, delta H is negative, exothermic reaction. Delta H value positive, that is endothermic. In endothermic reaction what happens? If you increase the temperature, system has tried to decrease that increase in temperature. How the system will try to decrease the increase in temperature? By absorption of heat energy. In which direction heat energy absorbed? That is in the forward direction, because in the forward direction heat energy absorbing, that is endothermic reaction. So forward reaction favorable. Are you getting my point? Let's suppose if the temperature decreases. The system try to compensate it by releasing the heat energy. So in which direction heat energy releases? In the forward direction heat energy absorbing, in the backward direction heat energy releasing. That's where the reverse reaction, that is the backward reaction, favors. This is very important. Once again what I am saying is, In endothermic reaction, if temperature increases, forward reaction favorable. If temperature decreases, backward reaction favorable. But in case of exothermic reaction, if you increase the temperature, backward reaction favorable. If you decrease the temperature, then forward reaction favorable. Okay, now here I am not going detailly here, just because already we covered in the effect of temperature. Just I am giving some information regarding the effect of temperature from Arrhenius equation, which is known as a K is equal to A into e to the power minus EA upon RT, where K is a rate constant, A is a frequency factor, exponent factor, free exponential coefficient, E is a exponent value, e to the power minus EA by RT, where EA activation energy, R is a gas constant, and T is the absolute temperature. Okay, next here K equilibrium is a ratio between the rate constant of forward reaction to that of the rate constant of the reverse or backward reaction. Okay, after that we have one more equation, K equilibrium is equal A into e to the power minus delta H by RT, where delta H is called enthalpy of the reaction, heat of the reaction. Are you getting my point? Now if you apply the logarithm, so you will get ln K equilibrium minus delta H RT by ln A, ln in the sense to the base E. If you convert this into base 10, log K is equal to, with respect to base 10, minus delta H by 2.303 capital R into 1 by T log A. Okay, there are two different temperatures, T1, T2, and the equilibrium constant K1, K2. All these things we will discuss in previous videos. Go and watch that videos. That is the dependence of equilibrium constant on temperature. Okay, finally what we concluded here, for endothermic reaction, K equilibria directly proportional to whom? Temperature. For exothermic reaction, K equilibria inversely proportional to whom? Temperature. This is the effect of temperature. Okay, now come to some problems here. Manufacturing of ammonia by Haber process. This is a very important process. This is the industrial application of Le-Chatelier's principle. Now N2 plus 3H2 2NH3, what is the delta H value given to you? Minus 22.4 kilocalorie. That means this reaction is obviously exothermic reaction. Do you know in exothermic reaction what is the question? The effect of increasing of temperature. If you increase the temperature in exothermic reaction, the system tend to move in backward direction, that is shifted to left. Equilibrium will be shifted to left. Okay, this is the option number 3. This is very important because it is exothermic. How we know exothermic? Because delta H value negative. In exothermic reaction, if you increase the temperature, backward reaction favors. Are you getting my point? In exothermic reaction, if temperature decreases, forward reaction favors. If temperature increases, reverse reaction favors. Second question, N2 plus O2 2NO, delta H is equal to positive. Here delta H value positive. This is corresponding to what? Endothermic reaction. This reaction which is not true for the following reaction. Okay, change in pressure at constant volume does not affect the equilibrium. This is correct explanation because the number of moles 1 plus 1 left side 2 moles, so total change in the number of moles will be how much? 0. If the delta Ng value 0, then there will be no effect of pressure or volume. Are you getting my point? First statement is right, second statement is also correct. The formation of NO increased by high temperature. Yes, the formation of NO nothing but forward reaction. Forward reaction favorable by increasing of temperature. The formation of NO decreased by high temperature. This is the incorrect statement. Because the question is not correct, incorrect. Are you getting my point? Because this is what? Endothermic reaction. If we increase the temperature, system tend to move in where? Forward direction. Which direction? Forward direction. Next, 2SO2 plus O2 gives 2SO3 plus X calories. That means here heat energy releasing. In the sense this is the exothermic reaction. Now the favorable conditions. So this is called contact process, manufacturing of sulfur tracks. This is exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction, favorable conditions are low temperature. Where the options are there? Low temperature, first option is there, and low temperature fourth option is also there. Are you getting my point? So out of these two options, again we have to check the effect of pressure. So system has to move right side number of moles will be less, that means number of moles will be less, that means volume will be less, that means pressure has to increase. When the system at equilibrium pressure increases, then the system move in that direction where there is a decrease in the number of gaseous particles. That means we have to increase the pressure and decrease the temperature. That means low temperature and high pressure. Which is the correct option? Low temperature and high pressure. That is the fourth option. Are you getting my point? Now, dissociation of PCl, phosphorus pentachloride, is favorable way. What is the PCl? Phosphorus pentachloride, PCl5. Decomposition to give what? PCl3 and Cl2. In generally, dissociation heat energy required. Dissociation heat energy, what happens? Required. This is endothermic reaction. Are important? This is very important. In endothermic reaction, if temperature increases, then forward reaction occurs. Yes. That means high temperature. High temperature, we have how many options here? High temperature first option, high temperature second option. Now come to the effect of pressure. So 1 volume of PCl5 to give 1 volume of PCl3 and 1 volume of Cl2. That means 1 volume reactants will give 2 volumes of product. And if the system tend to move in forward direction, the volume increases. Volume increases in the sense pressure has to reduce, because pressure volume inversely proportional. Okay, if you decrease the pressure, the system tend to move in that direction where there is an increase in the number of gas particles. Are you getting my point? That means pressure has to be reduced. Pressure has to be reduced means low pressure. That means high temperature, low pressure. That is the second option. Option number 2. Now come to which of the following condition increases the yield of the product. Now here, number of moles of gaseous reactants 1, number of moles of gaseous reactants 1, number of moles of gaseous products 4. So delta Ng value, sum of the number of moles of gaseous products minus reactants. So delta Ng value 0. If the delta Ng value 0, there is no any pressure effect. Increase in pressure, incorrect option. Third option, if you see volume, that is also incorrect. Only the 2 options we have. Second option, fourth option we have to check, because the first option, fourth option invalid, because there will be no pressure effect. Once there is no pressure effect means there is no volume effect also, because delta Ng 0. Now system has to move in the right side direction. In the right side direction, what happens? Heat energy releases. Heat energy releases means this is exothermic. Exothermic reaction, low temperature favorable. Decrease in temperature favorable forward reaction. Are you getting my point? Increase in temperature, reverse reaction favors. Okay. Next, one more question. A plus B plus heat energy gives C. The reaction is favorable by, yes. In this reaction, heat energy, what happens? Absorbing. Heat energy absorbing means high temperature. High temperature we have first option and we have second option. 2 options we have. Now come to pressure effect. So system has to move right side. So left side, 1 volume A, 1 volume B, 2 volumes of reactants and 1 volume of the product. That means 2 volume of reactants will give 1 volume of the product. That means here right hand side volume has to decrease. Volume has to decrease means pressure must be increased. That means high pressure and high temperature are favorable conditions. High temperature and high pressure, that is the first option. High temperature because it is endothermic reaction. High pressure because when we increase the pressure, the system move in that direction where there is a decrease in the number of gas particles. Where the gas particles will be less on the right hand side. That's why system moving in forward direction. Now, the dissociation of ammonium carbamate this is okay, may be represented by the equation NH4 CO2 NH2 solid to give 2NH3 gas plus CO2 gas. The delta H0 standard enthalpy change for the reaction Enthalpy change for the reaction of the forward reaction is what? Negative. That means this reaction is exothermic reaction. This is very important. The equilibrium will be shift from right to left. System right to left. This is exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction, what happens? If you lower the temperature, forward reaction. If you increase the temperature, backward reaction. Are you getting my point? Now increasing of temperature, what happens? System tend to move in reverse direction, backward direction, because it is exothermic reaction. How we know exothermic? Because in the question it is given delta H naught value negative, that is exothermic. Now increase in the concentration of ammonia. Yes, on the right side, if you increase the concentration of ammonia, the system tend to move to decrease the concentration of ammonia by moving in backward direction. Next one, increase in the concentration of carbon dioxide. Also, if you increase the concentration of CO2, so to compensate the increase in the concentration of CO2, the system has to move in the backward direction. This is a multiple choice question. Okay. Now, for the gas phase reaction carried out in the vessel C2H6, C2H4 plus H2, the equilibrium concentration of C2H4 can be increased. That means the system has to move in which direction? Forward direction. Increase in the temperature, 100% correct option, because this is endothermic process. Decrease in the pressure, if you decrease the pressure, the system try to move where there is an increase in the volume. Yes, left side one volume is there, right side 1 plus 1 2 volumes are there. So if you decrease the pressure, system move to that direction where there is an increase in the volume. That means second option is correct. Removing of some hydrogen, yes. Decreasing of concentration of products, also equilibrium shift in forward direction, or increasing the concentration of reactants, also equilibrium shift in the forward direction. Okay. Now the next effect is the effect of addition of inert gases. This is very important concept. Now when we add inert gas, then how they affect the position of equilibrium. Here there are two cases. The first case is the addition of noble gases or inert gases at constant volume, and number 2 at constant pressure. There are two different cases. Okay. In both the cases, temperature is also constant. If we are not discussing, if we are not mentioning about the temperature, that means it is understood temperature is constant. Okay. Now here, addition of inert gases at constant volume, there will be no effect on the position of the equilibrium. This is very, very important. There is no effect on the position of equilibrium by the addition of inert gases at constant volume, because here volume is constant. Are you getting my point? From the ideal gas equation, if you see PV is equal to nRT, in this ideal gas equation, now temperature is constant, volume of the system constant, rigid system, R value itself constant. That means now what we are doing, we are adding the number of moles of inert gas. That means overall total number of moles, what happens? Increases. That means total pressure also should increase, and these two values will be compensate one another. That's why there is no any effect of the addition of noble gases at constant volume. Total pressure increases, no doubt at all, because number of moles increases, volume is constant, so number of moles increases, that has to compensate it by increase in the total pressure, but the partial pressure of the gases will be remain same. Partial pressure of the gases will be remain same, because these gases, that is the gas which is added to the reaction container, is a inert gas. They do not react with any one of the component in the equilibrium mixture. Total pressure increases, but the partial pressures will have no effect. Okay. So here, since at constant volume the pressure increases with addition of inert gases, yes, just now I told you pressure directly proportional number of moles, and the same time total number of moles also increases. Yes, they almost counterbalance each other. So that's why addition of inert gases at constant volume has no effect on the position of the equilibrium. Now here Kp expression we know. Okay, in this expression what happens, total pressure increases because number of moles increases, and these two are compensated with each other. That's why there is no effect on the position of the equilibrium. Let's suppose we are taking one example, PCl5, PCl3, Cl2. So number of moles at equilibrium, A moles, PCl3 B moles, and Cl2 will be C moles. Let's suppose we are adding small d moles of a noble gas, let's suppose helium, otherwise inert gas nitrogen. Then what happens? Now the number of moles of product B and one more product will be C, whole divided by reactant A, P total by N total. What is the total number of moles? A plus B plus C, and also D. What is the D here? Either nitrogen moles or helium moles. Total pressure will be increases. Simultaneously total number of moles also increases. The ratio will become what? Constant. That's why there is no any effect on the position of the equilibrium. Once again I am telling, addition of noble gases at constant volume, there will be no effect on the position of the equilibrium, because when we adding the noble gases at constant volume, so volume is constant. If we increase the number of moles, pressure has to increase. Total pressure increases, but the partial pressure of the component gases will be remain same. That's why there is no change in the Kp value in the expression. That's why the equilibrium do not be disturbed. Are you getting my point? Now the second case, at constant pressure and temperature. Addition of noble gases or inert gas at constant pressure, temperature is obviously constant. Okay, now the total volume here, what happens? PV is equal to what? nRT. Temperature is constant, R value is constant. Now pressure of the system constant. That means you are adding the noble gases. If the number of moles increases, then which has to increase? Volume of the system has to increase. That means by addition of noble gases to the reaction mixture at constant pressure, then the position of equilibrium shifted to that direction where there is an increase in the number of moles, increase in the number of gas particles. Because number of moles increases, the system volume also should increase. So system will tend to move in that direction where there is a increase in the number of gas particles. Okay, the total volume increased, number of moles per unit volume of the each reactant and product will be decreases. Because volume increases, number of moles per unit volume value decreases, hence the equilibrium will be shifted to that direction where the number of moles increases, gas molecules increases. Okay, now it can explain with mathematically also. Here Kp expression we have. Okay, now here the important thing is the delta Ng. Delta Ng is very important. Let's suppose delta Ng value 0. So there is no effect of addition of inert gases at constant pressure, because delta in N to the power nothing but 0. So this complete term will become 1. So there will be no effect of the Kp value. That's why here there is no effect of the addition of noble gases at constant pressure when the delta Ng become 0. Okay, let's suppose when inert gas is added to the reaction mixture at equilibrium, then the total number of moles, what happens? Increases. That means this denominator value increases. Remember, this P total is constant because we are maintaining constant pressure. This is very important. Case 1, when the delta Ng value 0, just now I told you there is no effect on the position of the equilibrium. Now the case 2, delta Ng value greater than 0. Now in the denominator, number of moles increases. So P total by N total whole to the power delta Ng. This value what happens? Decreases, because N total will be denominator increases, the total value what happens? Decreases. Remember, here the temperature is constant, so Kp must be constant. So that means to keep the Kp value constant, okay, this total value what happens? Decreases. That means this value should be increased, because these two will be cancel out each other and to keep the Kp value as a constant. That means the numerator should increase, denominator should decrease, then the total value in this part increases. Okay, that means in the numerator what happens? Number of moles of products. In the denominator, number of moles of reactant. That means here, to keep the Kp as a constant, the concentration of the product should increase and simultaneously concentration of reactant should decrease. In which situation concentration of products increases and concentration of reactant decreases? When the system tend to move in the forward direction. That means if you add the inert gases at constant pressure, if delta Ng greater than 0, then system will move in forward direction. System will be moving forward direction. Okay. Now case number 3. If the delta Ng value negative less than 0, that means total number of moles increases. P total by N total value decreases, but P total by N total to the power delta Ng increase, because delta Ng value what? Negative. That's why this value increases. That means here, if this value completely increases, this square bracket value completely increases, that means this value should what happens? Decrease. This value should what happens? Decrease. In this situation, numerator should be decrease and denominator should be increased. In that situation, because to maintain the Kp constant, why Kp constant? Because temperature is constant. Because temperature is constant. That's why to keep the Kp as a constant, the concentration of the product has to decrease and the concentration of the reactant has to increase. So the system will move in backward direction. That means if the delta Ng value less than 0, if we add the noble gases or inert gas at constant pressure, system move in backward direction. If delta Ng greater than 0, system will move in forward direction. If the delta Ng value 0, there is no effect of the addition of the inert gases at constant pressure. Okay. Now these 3 cases just I written in this tabular form. Once again, number 1, case 1, when delta Ng 0. At constant volume, there is no effect on the position of the equilibrium irrespective of the delta Ng, that is positive, negative is equal to no matter of the delta Ng condition in the question. If it must be given in the question. Remember, at constant volume given or at constant pressure is given, this is compulsory. Okay. Now at constant volume is given, simply we can say no effect on the equilibrium position. Now delta Ng 0, at constant pressure also no effect. If delta Ng positive, forward direction system move. If delta Ng negative, backward direction system will move. Okay. And one more important thing is the catalyst. We know what is the catalyst. It is a substance which increases rate of a chemical reaction without itself consuming the reaction. Okay. Now the important role of the catalyst is it provides a alternative path for the reaction and it decreases the activation energy of the reactants. Once the activation energy of the system decreases, rate of a reaction becomes faster. Otherwise, there is no effect of the position of the equilibrium. Addition of catalyst has no effect on the position of the equilibrium. Only it used to help the equilibrium to establish the equilibrium quickly. Okay. Now, catalyst does not affect the equilibrium composition of the reaction mixture. It does not appear in the balanced chemical equation or in the equilibrium constant expression. Okay. A catalyst increases the rate of chemical reaction by providing a lower activation energy path for the reaction. Just now I told you, if the activation energy decreases, rate of a reaction increases. The activation energy EA and rate of reaction are inversely proportional. This is very important. So the detailed explanation we will see in chemical kinetics chapter. Okay. The activation energy, it is the minimum energy required for any reaction to occur. If the activation energy decreases, then the rate of a reaction increases. A catalyst lowers the activation energy for forward and reverse reactions. by same extent. This is very important. There is no effect of catalyst on the position of equilibrium because it increases both rate of forward and backward reaction to the same extent. Next, a catalyst increases the rate of a chemical reaction by providing a lower activation energy path for the reaction. Okay. Now here, industrial applications of Le-Chatelier principle. Here there are two important applications regarding the Le-Chatelier's principle. Number one, manufacturing of ammonia by Haber process. This is a very important reaction. N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3, where delta H value here minus 92. This is very important. This is a exothermic reaction. Haber process, manufacturing ammonia is a exothermic reaction. Now the formation of ammonia is accompanied by, that is favorable by, increase in the concentration of reactants or decrease in the concentration of the products, we know. Number one. Number two, high pressure 200 to 500, because in the reactant side 1 volume of nitrogen, 3 volume of hydrogen combined to give 2 volumes of ammonia. That means 4 volumes of reactants will give how many volumes of product? 2 volumes. That means if we increase the pressure, system try to move in that direction where there is a decrease in the number of moles or number of volumes or number of gas particles. That's why pressure has to increase. Next, to optimum temperature, that is 725 to 775 Kelvin. Here actually this reaction is which reaction? Hexothermic. Hexothermic reaction in generally low temperature favorable. Okay, low temperature the rate of a reaction will be slow. That's why we required some optimum temperature which is not very high and also not very low temperature. And one more important thing is the catalyst. Finely divided iron as a catalyst and molybdenum used as a promoter. Promoter is a substance which increases the activity of the catalyst. Which increases the promoter. What happens? Increases activity of catalyst. Okay. Now here one more process is there, contact process, manufacturing of sulfuric acid. Okay. Now 2SO2 plus O2 to give 2SO3. Here also heat energy releases. That means in this process also delta H value negative. That means this is also exothermic process. This is very both Haber process and contact process both are exothermic process. First point, increasing the concentration of reactants or decreasing of concentration of the products time to time will favor the forward reaction. Next, to optimum pressure 1 to 2 atmosphere. Actually we should use high pressures, but here optimum pressure is required. Why? I will tell you. Okay, optimum temperature, that is the 673 to 723 Kelvin, and last one is the platinized asbestos as a catalyst, otherwise vanadium pentoxide, nothing but V2O5, otherwise platinum is a catalyst. Now why we are using the optimum pressure and why we should not use the high pressure? There are the reason behind the high pressure, because we should not use the high pressure because the towers used in the manufacturing of the sulfur tracks in the contact process may undergo corrosion. What is the meaning of corroded or corrosion? Rusting, damaging. Okay. Now at low temperature the reaction rate is slow. That's why we require optimum temperature. Just now I told you. So not very low temperature, because at very low temperature the reaction rate will be slow. That's why we require optimum temperature. Okay. Now here I am giving the detailed explanation of the Le-Chatelier principle. What is the factor we are changing, and what is the effect on the position of equilibrium, and what is the is there any change of equilibrium constant value. Okay, this is a very important tabular form. Just to go through this table, let's number one, concentration. Increase in the concentration of reactants or decrease in the concentration of the products Equilibrium favorable in forward direction towards right side. There will be no change in the equilibrium constant unless until temperature do not changes, equilibrium constant do not changes, remember. Next, decrease in the concentration of the reactants or increase in the concentration of the product, the system tend to move in backward direction, that is to left side. Are you getting my point? Next, come to pressure effect. Just now I told you, increasing of pressure, the system tend to move where there is a decrease in the number of moles. Are you getting my point? Now here, if the reaction has delta Ng value negative, delta Ng value negative in the sense means left side number of moles are high, right side number of moles are low. If you increase the pressure, the system move where there is a decrease in the number of moles, that means right side forward direction. And if the delta Ng value greater than 0, the backward reaction favors. Here also there is no change in the equilibrium constant value. Now the reverse one, decrease in the pressure. Decrease in the pressure, the system move where there is an increase in the volume. In the first case, if the delta Ng greater than 0, that means on the right hand side number of moles is very high, that's why system move in forward direction. In delta Ng less than 0, left hand side number of moles are very high, that's why system tend to move in left side direction. Here also there will be no change in the equilibrium constant value. Equilibrium constant value only changes by changing of whom? Temperature. Now here increasing of temperature and decreasing of temperature. Here there are two types of reactions, exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. In endothermic reaction, if you increase the temperature, the system tend to move in forward direction. And in endothermic reaction, equilibrium constant directly proportional to temperature, that's why equilibrium constant increases. Let's suppose if it is exothermic reaction, then system tend to move in the backward direction. Are you getting my point? In exothermic reaction, if you increase the temperature, equilibrium constant value, what happens? Decreases. Next case, decrease in the temperature. If it is exothermic reaction, low temperature favorable, that's why the system tend to move in forward direction. Okay. Now, decrease in the temperature, endothermic reaction, equilibrium constant increases. Let's suppose decrease in the temperature in endothermic reaction, what happens? It moves to left side direction. If you decrease the temperature in endothermic reaction, then equilibrium constant also decreases because directly proportional to temperature, equilibrium constant in endothermic, and inversely proportional to equilibrium constant in exothermic reaction. That means K equilibria directly proportional to absolute temperature, endothermic reaction, and K equilibria inversely proportional to temperature in exothermic reaction. This is very important. Are you getting my point? Okay.